Alrighty guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm gonna be reviewing and trying to piece together some lore of Die of Death. So let's get started. Now, you may have seen my video recently, my most recent video. And if you have, geez, you're fast. How did you? I just uploaded it, dude. But yeah. Now, if you've played Die of Death before, you definitely know this freaking guy that I hate because he mentions survivors running out of breath and dying from asthma, which is not cool, man, considering I have asthma. So yeah, look. Dan Box. Box, right? What? Right, guys, then we got... As someone who has asthma, I hate Dan Box. Except I love the juice. It's just juice. But you may notice some similarities between him and another NPC in the game. Also, okay, Mr. Blue Guy, can you stop watching me, dude? Oh, my bad, Josh. I didn't mean it, I swear. Anyways, yeah, back to the lore. Right? Now, this is Dance Box. Right? And you may notice some similarities between him and another NPC in the game. He has studs on his shoulder, his hands, and his freaking legs and feet, and has a head that looks slightly different compared to ours. You know, it looks it looks a little bit stretched out, and he has a torso with a little music thingy on it. Sound familiar? Well, if we go over here and start running, I tell you, like we book it, guess who we find? Studs on his shoulders and hands, studs on his feet and legs, headphones, which is different, a stretched out head, and guess what else do we see? A music related thing on his torso. Bro, what? You know, I don't think I would. When we tap him, Rusty Robot gives no response. Try feeding it 5 points. It does take your points away, but the robot looks unappealing. Maybe try again. Now, when the first time you ever feed this guy points, it doesn't do anything. Doesn't even say anything. It just ends the conversation. You have to feed this guy so many points. It is unbelievable. Like over 50, I believe. But yeah, if you keep feeding the robot points. MP, Music Box Prototype, starts talking. Now you may notice the name Music Box sounds a bit familiar, don't it? Well, that's because it sounds similar to Dance Box now, doesn't it? Now, unlike Dance Box, but also similarly to Dance Box, MP, let me turn this down actually. Similarly to Dance Box, MP, Music Box Prototype, also has stories to tell. Similarly to how Dance Box makes rhymes. Now, I love this silly little freaking goofy, freaking deformed robot. I plan to make an avatar of him someday. But look at this poor guy. But he tells a story at first of 2 artists. And he literally says he wouldn't be surprised if you haven't. Now you could say this is coded into him. However, with how rusty and how freaking, well, hidden how long he must have been hidden for, considering barely anyone is, okay. In lore, we don't know much about Die of Death lore yet. However, you'll notice this lobby, it's, you'll notice this lobby area, it's empty. Only 2 NPCs over here. Only 2 NPCs over here. And 1 other entity or NPC over here. So yeah, this place is kind of lonely in a way. But you'll notice, unlike everyone else who has someone near them, a friend, you know, company, this little robot is in a place where no one else is in. And before you mention this door here, looking through the door, Jesus Christ, the fan scared me. Oh my God. Why did the fan actually catch me off guard? Oh my God. Sorry, we're getting off topic. But you'll notice there's nothing in there. MP tells a story about 2 artists, and he says he wouldn't be surprised if you haven't, but I believe MP might have gotten a consciousness, because what robot is just programmed to sound that real? Being like, oh yeah, if you haven't, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, what robot sounds that human? Alright, I believe this robot may have a consciousness now, but the only time his consciousness is active is when you feed it points. Or, my second theory, maybe this robot's code barely works anymore, and maybe it was meant to tell tales, to teach kids how to be better and stuff. And after all, it does make sense. However, I think the consciousness theory I made is more likely, and I have a reason for that. In my newest video, you'll notice the robot tells a story about how we left plushies behind, and how we don't really care about how they would feel, would they? Would do we? How we just decided to abandon them, and how these poor plushies are sad now, as the only thing that gave those plushies life are now gone. How scared do you think they would be? Like, why would a robot say that? If it was meant to teach kids to be better and was just nice to them, I highly doubt it would just have a story programmed in like that. I believe maybe the robot got a consciousness. Yeah, who says the story goes a little something like this? I'm a robot, dude. Bro's a robot, and bro speaks human. So real. I believe in lore this thing got a consciousness, but the only time his consciousness even works and is able to work anymore without being tired is when we feed the robot points and give him energy. After all, that's how our brain works too. We need energy to be less tired. So my theory does make sense. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, keep talking, MP. You got this. Yep. You'll notice I actually mentioned this story. Yeah, I mentioned this story in the video I uploaded recently about the robot. I never knew the robot actually talked. But you may be wondering, how did I even figure out he could talk in the first place with no tutorials, no one telling me, nothing? Well, last time I was near this robot, the robot had a poster behind it referencing how the healing potion that Caretaker has only costs us 20 points, and I figured maybe that was a hint that that's how much you need to feed the robot. No, you need to feed the robot way more, but still, that somehow pushed me to keep going. And yeah, with the deadline quickly approaching, they knew they wouldn't have the time to remake what they made before, and they were forced to turn in what they had. The project was unacceptable, and the first artist still wished that someone would enjoy the art they created. A reminder of their efforts, even if it was tainted by their argument. The second artist felt remorse for what they had done, and still wished they could work together on another piece, but he knew the time for that was long gone. And yeah. Now, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, wait a minute, they said the second artist was a he. What if that second artist... No way! Hold on, let me unequip this. No way! What if it's Artful? And to that I say, Artful is a magic show guy. Artful's posters are literally about magic shows, and he can build. I don't think he draws, okay, man? There's different types of art besides painting and drawing, alright? Yeah, see? Look, we got Artful. It's showtime. Yeah. So I severely doubt Artful actually... Don't make Sheriff get you. I didn't make Sheriff get me, okay? Okay, Sheriff just chose to shoot me, okay? Stop! Okay, sorry, got distracted. Josh. But, yeah. We also have a break room. But, yeah. Now, I'm gonna try to explore more to see if I can maybe find out who the artists really were. Oh, by the way, random fun fact. If you go to the back of the tree in this game, make sure you don't touch any of the bushes, any of the plants, okay? When going here, respect what Esther Flowers said, okay? Look, see, I'm not touching the plants. I'm not touching the plants. I'm respecting the wish. But, like, you'll notice there's just a Minecraft log. I just found that interesting. Nothing special about it. What if I click it? Nothing happens. But anyways, back to lore time. Yeah. Yeah, it said only... Oh my god. Maybe the price of Caretaker's Potions is a reference to how many points you have to give the robot. Because, sure, you have to give the robot way more than 20, but it specifies that it's only 20 at the moment. It says on discount. I believe maybe it costed just as much as the robot. That's cool. Dang it, I'm stuck here. You know what, I'm just... Oh, by the way, they made an Artful plush on Makeshift Shite. Wow. They made a Makeshift plushie of Artful on Makeshift's site. I just figured you may want to know that. I did not know the killers that you... Okay, I'm getting too distracted. We gotta focus on the lore. Because guys, I'm Map Pat right now, guys. Trust, I'm Map Pat, dude. Like I'm the real Map Pat. I'm lying. I'm not Map Pat. I think it's pretty obvious, but I'm not Map Pat. Why Artful look like that? Why does he have real human-like looks? He's blocky, man. Why did you make him realistic? That's creepy. I love it though. Pretty good art. There's a sad ball here. There's just a sad ball in this room, by the way. What if I touch the sad ball? Nothing happened. It's just a sad ball. Poor guy, man. I think that's the sad ball's chair. Poor guy. Okay, well, anyway. Not again. I did not mean to show my username that much, but it was already revealed anyways, or whatever. No, my reward board isn't even a reward. I have to live a life. I'm kidding. Don't take that seriously. No, seriously. Don't. Guys, living of life is awesome. Okay? Don't take what I just said 2 seconds ago, like about not living of life. Seriously, okay, guys? Come on. We're not gonna have those thoughts around here, right? We're gonna be happy, like a happy meal, okay, guys? Come on, don't take that seriously. Anyways, back to lore. I'm gonna see if I can find any more stories from the robot and waste my points. All right. I'll cut to when I get there. I did it. Allow me to ask you a question. Chat, we're about to piece the lore up together. I haven't seen this one yet. Let us piece it together, guys. Okay, sure. Yeah? Got it. Yeah? Okay. Now, assume that this button is connected to a wonderful machine. A truly marvelous machine. Oh my god. Is it connected to YouTube? Not, dude. This is actually crazy. Okay, we can't assume the lore yet. We gotta learn every last piece. Okay, guys. No, the fact that I can create bad things, kind of concerns me. And I didn't mean anything. Ancient historical figures from the past. That's new, never before seen weapons from the future, dude. Whatever this machine is, no, I don't like it. Perhaps even another you. You know, Mr. Robot, I don't like this question bit. Pushing the button would cause the machine to shut down, never being able to get anything else out of it. Yay, good. This act would be permanent. Bruh! This act would be permanently irreversible. Alright. Now, the question I've been meaning to ask. How long would it take you before you decide to push the button? Instantly? A few seconds? A few days? A few seconds. Never. Your curiosity would get the better of you. You would never disable the machine. Your negligence would cause you to sit there and watch the machine until it's unsalvageable. No, I just said I would click the button, Mr. Awesome Robot, that I plan to do a cosplay of later. I just said, okay. Then what will you have when it's all said and done? In the end, was it really worth it? No. No. I don't want to think about it. Oh my god. Not even the robot wants to think about it. It's in your programming, dog. What do you mean? Yeah, the story I just asked you. I don't want to talk about it. You're a robot. Okay, chat. I gotta analyze this. Dude, hold up. The fact that not even the robot wants to think about it proves that either that's just programmed inside the robot's freaking coding, or that no. All that last sentence does is prove that the robot has a consciousness, dude. My theory has more proof. Let's go! Alright, let's see another one. I'll cut to when I get there. Okay, guys. Remember the plushie story I mentioned about how this robot knows? Like, how this robot is just kind of depressing, man. This poor robot. This poor robot. Yeah, right? Well, you see, this robot here just asked me the question again. No. We're finding the last two. Possibly more stories. There could be more stories we don't know about. I'm gonna find them. I found it. I found one. And I don't think, like, I remember the comment section of the music for the robot, which was uploaded by someone who I don't think officially works on the team. I could be wrong though. Because of how obscure this is, right? I don't think any of those comments mentioned this. This might actually be new. Have you ever wondered about the significance of a fly? No, I know they're pretty good for the economy, but no. So small. So meaningless in the grand scheme of things. Oh, no. It's really not, but yeah, continue. And yet, their entire existence starts and stops at the blink of an eye. They never chose this life. They are doomed to live. Oh, life. Okay, I'll stop. They spend every waking minute fending for themselves. And yet, death comes for them all the same. God dang. How would you feel if you were in the situation to that right now with Isaac and stuff. Do not even dare. Okay. Knowing that there are things far beyond your control that at any moment can wipe you out in an instant. Knowing that even if you did everything right, in the end, death will still come for you all the same. What could you do to leave your mark on this world? A sign that at one point you were alive. What would be your legacy? And so, the life of a fly continues. God dang! Guys, I don't think this robot is okay. Guys, I found it. The clock reads 7 a.m. Yay! I woke up early! Woo! I went to bed early for once. Okay, I'll stop joking, but wow, look. The clock reads 7 a.m. A test subject is required to sit inside of a isolated room facing a clock and never break eye contact with it, only ever briefly pausing to record notes of their experience. You know, I don't think that sounds that great. The clock reads 7:30 a.m. Agonizing. The first 30 minutes pass by agonizingly slowly as they watch every second tick by. The clock reads 8 a.m. The next hour passes just as slowly, but the test subject notes they felt an odd brief pain in their arm. The clock reads 9 a.m. The next 2 hours seem to pass quicker than usual. The test subject notes they also started to believe they heard a voice call out to them, but they couldn't make out what it said. Oh my god, no. The clock reads 11 a.m. The test subject notes feeling cold despite the room always being set to room temperature. They heard the voice again. It sounded closer, but they still couldn't quite make it out. Well, guys, I think it might be pursuer. Actually, okay. The clock reads 13 a.m. No, that's military time. It's supposed to read 1 a.m. The test subject at this point has stopped recording notes. The surveillance footage records them beginning to talk as if they were in a conversation. Their contact never breaking from the clock. The clock reads 4:80 a.m. If a clock reads that, then at that point I think you're just insane. The subject seems to be terrified by whatever they are hearing on the other end of the conversation. They had begun calling for help. They tried struggling to break eye contact with the clock, but it was reportedly no use. The clock reads 12,000. What? No. Wait, chat. I think I'm just now realizing something. The clock reads these numbers. Oh my god! So guys, remember when I said I was noticing something? 12, 40, 436, 870, 604, 121, 01 a.m. I'm starting to think these weird numbers of time might be a code. Guys, to anyone watching, can you decode this? Because I think these numbers may be a code. Back to the story. The test subject appears to have entered a depressed state, giving up, struggling against whatever they have been conversing with. The clock reads tomorrow. The test subject asks what happens tomorrow to whoever they are conversing with. The clock reads 12 p.m. The test subject was found dead 5 hours after testing began. Any further attempts to run this test have been outright banned. I don't feel comfortable after that story. I don't like that. That is okay. Chat, those times might be a code. Maybe if we do... Oh my god. The whole time, when the clock was reading different times, it was the clock was alive, responding to the person that was conversing with it. Oh my god, guys. So if we translate what the time meant, and like the numbers it meant, and maybe we can get words that so that we know what the conversation was. Oh my god, I am genius. Do you remember those foregone days where you'd sit around all day playing with your toys, they say, right? Right? Yeah, totally, guys. I totally remember that. I totally remember what I had to do with my dad. Like, no, skedaddle, MP. Like, bro. Okay. Yeah, but back to lore. Building bricks, stuffed animals, and random objects you love so dearly, right? I bet you can even still remember them. All by names you gave them. Hold up. How long has it been since you last played with them? Assuming that they're still in one piece. How long has it been since they've seen their carrying master? Is quite literally what MP says, guys. Like, it's right on the screen right now, bro. Crazy. The one who gave them so much joy and entertainment. The one who told them some wonderful stories and filled them with life. The one who abandoned them. The one who eventually decided that they weren't good enough. The one who decided that they could be allowed to be left behind, and why? How long has it been since they've seen your face? Would it be wrong for them to assume they've been unwanted and unloved? And yet, how would you feel if you knew they were still longing for you to return? That things could go back the way they were before. That they wouldn't need to be afraid anymore. That they could rely on you, and you'd tell them everything would be alright. That you could be a family again. That maybe, just maybe, they wouldn't need to be so lonely anymore. You miss them too, don't you? Like, bro, dude, now, this is some crazy lore, bro, okay? Now, that is some crazy lore. Crazy lore we just got from this goober. And like I said in the beginning, I believe this music box prototype is a prototype of Dance Box. And if you don't know who Dance Box is, this is the second time in the video I'm going to be showing y'all Dance Box over here. Dance Box is this loser. Sorry for saying loser, but I don't like Dance Box. Hold up. I think if I analyze his theme, maybe there will be some similarities. Also, Dance Box's last quote is just dance in a box. You know, because why not? I mean, his name is Dance Box. Haha, so funny, right guys? I'm being sarcastic. But yeah, pretty cool. But yeah, you'll notice some very similar things between the two robots. Look at this one. Look at this one. Same studs everywhere. Same or similar t-shirt. Similar head. They're both stretched out. And if we go back to that robot, what was that? But yeah, you'll notice they look almost identical, bro. And yet they have very different attitudes. I mean, why the hell? Wow, why the heck do you think Music Box prototype is called a prototype and Dance Box isn't? Like, and they're so similar that I am convinced Dance Box is the finished product. I mean, it makes sense. If something is unfinished and you decide to start from scratch and you don't want to use reuse any of the resources from the robot, where else would you leave it besides the basement, which is where it is? It all makes sense. Anyways, yeah. If y'all have any idea as to theories for the scuba, y'all can. Y'all can theorize. tell me your theories, but I personally think that it's quite obvious this is a prototype of Dance Box, alright? Anyways, yeah, y'all theorize while I exist. We